Hey guys, I am Mystic, and today I want to talk to you guys about how important habits are in your life. Every time you do something, it creates a neurological pathway in your mind. And every subsequent time you do the same action, that path gets deeper and deeper, and to the point where you build the habit. And whenever it becomes a habit, you are no longer conscious of an idea before the habit takes place. Like you're not thinking of how you're brushing your teeth, pause. But you're not thinking of how you're brushing your teeth when you start brushing them, although your hand just like goes left to right or right to left or however you started doing it. Or the same thing with tying your shoe. And the first time way back when you tied your shoe, there were multiple steps in just tying a shoe. Even though we think of it as so simple now, our first time doing it, it was a brand new idea, and we had to focus our attention on each individual step and realize how to do each one. But as it became a habit, right whenever we touch our laces, boom, the touch of our laces makes us feel like, okay, it's time to tie our shoe. And we don't even think about the actions that occur after. We just do them because it's a habit. And so your life now consists of all your habits. And if you do not like, or if you do not enjoy where you are and what you are receiving from life, you must change your habits. And you must change yourself, because you are your habits. And so to change, you must desire change first. You can't just change on a whim. You actually have to desire a new you. And that new you, that the desire to have a new you is like the basis of human existence. We should desire our ideal self. That way we can reap what we sow. And when you desire change, you're sowing new ideas. That way you get new benefits. So here is the diagram that presents the shoelace habit idea I was trying to present to y'all. So V up here is the idea of that you would have in thinking, oh, okay, I need to tie my shoe. And then right when you have that idea, boom, you go down to A, capital A. And capital A is the first action of the habit that you have. So boom, A, capital A is touching of the shoelace. And lowercase, all the lowercases are just the actual sensation. So boom, you think V, and then the rest is just happens. Like boom, A, you do the little cross under the thing, and then loop the loop with the rabbit around the tree or whatever the hell, and then boom, G, you got your shoes tied. Right now, I believe it is better to start to destroy old habits that you know are bad than to try and make new habits that are good. I guess you could do both at the same time, but I feel, which I'm not saying it's backed by any science or whatever, but I feel like contemplating your habits and figuring out the bad ones first is better than trying to create new good habits on a bad habit foundation, so to say. once you are attentive to making good new habits, you need to realize the fact that is stated in this William James psychology book. He says that building a new good habit is like winding up a yo-yo, and it has long string, and it takes many times to wind it around to get the string completely around. And that's basically exemplary of once you start at the bottom with the string completely loose at the bottom, and then it takes multiple wounds or winds to complete the habit, which is, it's the first time you do something, it doesn't create the habit. You have to do it multiple times. But he says that the first time, or say you wound it up 3 times, you've done the new habit or new soon to be habit. You've done that action 3 times, but there's still some string hanging left, so to speak. And then you break that cycle, the whole yo-yo will fall. Like, so you have to start from ground zero basically again. I also want to put this out there that I have been reading a lot lately, and reading this new book, the William James psychology book, opened my eyes to the idea that even though I am accepting tons of new information that is or could be beneficial to me, with the information, it may be useless unless you act upon the information. And by making these videos, I am acting, so to speak, on the information that I have gathered. And the whole point of making these videos is to try to give y'all the information I understand now through reading thousands of pages of books, but condensing it into a short little video that you go watch. And this for me is day 1 of I Am Mystic, which is the first day of my new habitual progress in making YouTube videos. And if you couldn't tell already, this is just off the dome. I haven't written a script or anything, obviously, and I'm just trying to put out the knowledge that I have recently received. I also want to say that before today, I had been thinking about making YouTube videos for a decent time now, maybe a couple weeks. And even before then, I used to really want to be a streamer. But I had never acted once. And this new psychology book has let me understand that our brains are like, should be like plastic, to where they bend and are not super stiff like steel trap. You hear that, your mind's like a steel trap, nothing gets in, nothing gets out. That's not good. But your brain also doesn't want to be like something, I don't know, lesser than plastic, to where it just folds and bends at every new idea, because even though new ideas may be good, they also may be bad. You need your discernment to decide that for you. And so, back to the point, what was the point? Oh yeah, there's so much resistance in beginning a new action. Like, I have never made YouTube videos before. It feels weird talking in front of a camera with no actual person talking back. It's weird, but I know that someone will see this and hopefully they like it. But yeah, the point was, the new things that will bring you new opportunities are the most difficult, or resistant things that make you uncomfortable. But when you're uncomfortable, afterward you grow. When you're comfortable, you stay the same. So it's up to you to decide. Do you want to be comfortable and stay the same forever, or be uncomfortable and grow? And a real life example of the whole yo-yo thing I was trying to present to y'all is like, if you have the bad habit of drinking every day, then the new habit would be the string that is loose. And each time you don't drink would be winding of the string around the yo-yo. And it may take, I think I heard somewhere it takes 28 days to harden a habit. That's just, I'm sure that's the average, but it's definitely different for you, whoever needs it. But the habit, or the new habit you would be creating, is not drinking. So each day you don't drink is the winding of the string. But he was saying that the second you break the new habit and take a drink, in this analogy, you are not just unwinding it once, you're unwinding the whole thing. So that's why you need discipline. You need to desire the new change more than the old comfortability. And to speak on the idea where each time you do a thing after the first time, the neurological pathway gets deeper, just means that you're more likely to do it the same way than to do it a different way. And literally, after I read that book in the library, I walked out the exact same way I came, which was actually like 3-4 times longer than a new way, because I went from here up the stairs, blah blah blah, and then throughout the library, whatever, and ended up here. But instead of just going here down the stairs, I went back, because it was the first time I'd ever been in that library, and that's the only way I knew how to do it, even though, I mean, I was oblivious to the easier way. And an even better example of that, instead of my weird library testimony, is when you fold a paper once, it's much easier to fold that exact same way because it already has that crease there. But the first time you fold a paper, it's awkward. It doesn't fold exactly where you want it to unless you like take your time, which is very analogous of real life and how the habits are actually formed.